So, White Light hasn't done a review for Far Cry 3, so I thought I'd do one instead. By the way, White Light is a great YouTuber, you should go check him out. We'll be talking narrative, gameplay, and soundtrack. Timestamps for each act will be down below. So, welcome to Classic Game Reviews, where we go back in time and take a look at the games of the past, and today's game is Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3 opens with an immediate sense of adventure and fun, and is quickly grounded by Vaas, possibly one of the best villains in a AAA franchise. Player is quickly taught how the mediocre stealth mechanics work, quickly providing a tension you can't help but feel. Jason and Grant escape, but Grant is quickly shot dead by Vaas.
Run, Forrest! Run!
For the sake of time, I will skip over certain bits because it is a long ass game. Far Cry 3 immediately hooks you from the start with its insane action-packed opening, providing some incredible visuals and a great atmosphere. We meet Dennis and the Tatau. The Tatau is your best mate throughout the game. We the players are then taught the classic Ubisoft gameplay I like to call the way of free. Towers, enemy cams, and collectibles. What are your thoughts on Ubisoft's game design? Let me know down below. After these tutorial sections, the game sets us free into the open world, and it's still drop dead gorgeous. So far the story is pretty meh with some great character moments, but straight away you could tell this game will be carried by its visuals and gameplay. We go mission to mission trying to hunt down our friends Lisa, Keith, Oliver, and Riley, Jason's younger brother. That's the basic plot, so let's move on. For the next 4 hours it is nothing but pure fun and exploration. Oh, you want to go mess with some sharks? Go do it. Want to feel like you're flying? Go fly. The gameplay here is peak Ubisoft gameplay. I think it completely nails Ubisoft's do this 20 times design. It's just so hard to get bored in Far Cry 3. One minute you're walking, minding your own business, and the next you've got 20 guys with AKs running after you, and a bear and a tiger mauling each other while you drive off a cliff because you got so distracted. The world is the true standout for Far Cry 3, and I don't think the game could have worked if it was set anywhere else with this much care. However, NPCs are pretty awful and lifeless, but considering this was made on the 360, I find it easy to forgive. That could be different for many other people. The set pieces are great, especially the one with Lisa driving the car and you're blasting grenades at enemies with this awesome soundtrack in the background, giving me that classic 80s film over-the-top action feeling that no one can ignore. However, the stealth is a joke and is way too easy, but somehow Ubisoft made forced stealth sections the most tedious thing in existence. Seriously, no one likes forced stealth sections, at least not me, unless you're playing Splinter Cell. There's plenty of customization as well, weapons, silencers, sights, all of that stuff, skins as well, and there's hunting. All provide a great gameplay loop for a while, but we'll get back to that in a bit. You meet various characters along the way, like the enchanting Citra and the despicable Buck, as well as the intriguing Agent Willis. After replaying Far Cry 3, I was surprised how memorable some of the characters actually were. So, Jason has saved most of his friends, and now it's time for revenge. Oh, if you got this far, maybe leave a like and maybe subscribe. It would really help the channel out.
You are me, and I am you.
So Jason has decided he wants to stay on the island for revenge to help Citra. He goes on a murderous rampage and it's great fun. You pretty much go from set piece to set piece, blowing trucks, cars, and people up for the hell of it, all to get back at Vaas. Easily the most fun I had in the entire game, only slightly beating out that final helicopter mission. You jump onto a helicopter, survive a bullet to the chest, get buried under 50 bodies, and become a walking legend, a survivor of death, which sounds completely insane. Vaas isn't the only man to be feared on the island anymore. Jason Brody is coming. Tigers, flamethrowers, bullets, and grenades won't stop you. We get to Vaas, and while I think his death is superb in a narrative way, it's awful in gameplay. Vaas gets a QTE death, and I really wasn't happy about it, but from a narrative sense, it makes a lot of sense to me. Vaas's death was so much more than just a death to me. I was and still am annoyed how little screen time he got in the end, but after thinking about his death from an actor's and writer's point of view, I love it so much more than I did when I was younger. Vaas's whole idea was about a character who is insane, who believes he isn't while simultaneously believing everyone around him were the crazy ones. He believes insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting stuff to change. But that's exactly what we did. We did the same thing constantly. 20 towers, check. 30 camps, check. Same gameplay with little variety, check. Yet things are starting to change. Vaas's death is the literal embodiment of Vaas's idea of insanity. being destroyed right in front of him. His death was proof he was insane, and he was wrong about insanity, and we should all strive to keep doing the same thing over and over again if we think it will work out. Or should we? Act 3. Welcome to the Madhouse. Act 3 is just a massive Michael Bay movie with a decision at the end, and it's great fun. You meet another character, Sam, and he is just as crazy as everyone else. Mission after mission, explosion after explosion, tat-out upgrade after tat-out upgrade. You save Riley and defeat Hoist, and are welcomed back to the island with an incredible final mission. The game ends with one final decision. Everything was building to this. Do you allow yourself to become insane with the power of the Tatao and Citra's army, or leave with your friends saving their lives? Well, that's up to you. Both endings are weirdly unsatisfying, but the game's narrative wasn't really a powerhouse in the first place. That was the best thing about the narrative in the entire game. Act 3 is probably the weakest for me, mainly because I was never fearful of Hoist. He was kind of just there and left me wanting more of that, if anything. Mainly because of the questions he actually asked through his words or his actions. The gameplay was still great, but by this point the gameplay loop got stale, as most Ubisoft games do. Far Cry 3 is a great game held back by some narrative decisions while having a great gameplay loop that only grows stale in the final few hours. Far Cry 3 is easily the best in the franchise and is an absolute classic. Hopefully White Light does a review one day. Thank you for watching.